This is Dr. Sarah Chen, emergency behavioral consultant, broadcasting from DinoLand Park. Marcus, if you're receiving this, I'm using the dinosaur ride intercom system because my radio's getting interference from, well, you're not going to believe what I'm seeing down here. It started about 20 minutes ago during the evening shift change. I was in the underground research lab reviewing behavioral data when every containment alarm went off simultaneously. Not sequentially like a system failure. Simultaneously, like they were coordinated. The security feeds showed all 4 primary subjects breaching containment within a 30-second window, while most of the skeleton crew was transitioning between shifts. Marcus, I need you to understand. This wasn't random. The timing was perfect. Too perfect. I'm currently moving through the maintenance tunnel system beneath the fossil trail. The park above me sounds like... Imagine a nature documentary about pack hunters, but the pack includes a 40-foot invisible crocodile, a voice-mimicking battering ram, and something that moves faster than our motion sensors can track. Oh, and about 60 infected humans who've apparently forgotten they used to have individual personalities. The Spinosaur, subject S-001, broke containment first. I watched it happen on the security feed before the system went dark. It didn't just break out, Marcus. It unlocked its own containment using the manual override. The behavioral analysis said these creatures retain their enhanced intelligence, but tool use? That's human-level problem solving. I can hear it calling now through the park's speaker system. It's not using the voices of drowning victims anymore. It's mimicking park announcements. Attention guests, please gather at the Riverside Adventure for your safety. In perfect DinoLand customer service voice. If I didn't know better, I'd follow those instructions myself. But here's what's really disturbing. I can hear people responding. Families with children walking toward the water features, talking to each other about how reassuring it is that staff are finally taking charge of the situation. The virus symptoms are spreading faster than we projected. Way faster. Hold on, Marcus. I'm picking up movement in the tunnel ahead of me. Okay, false alarm. Just some very large rats fleeing in the opposite direction. Even the local wildlife has enough sense to evacuate. I should probably follow their example, but someone needs to document this. The behavioral patterns are unlike anything in the fossil record. I'm approaching the access point beneath the prehistoric playground. The Suchamamus pack, we're tracking at least 3 individuals now. They've claimed this area as primary hunting territory. I can hear children laughing above me, but it's wrong. Too synchronized. Like they're all laughing at the same joke simultaneously. Marcus, are you getting reports about the playground? Because I'm looking at the security monitor down here and I'm seeing kids playing elaborate games with completely empty space. Ring around the rosy in perfect circles around nothing visible. Hide and seek where they're all hiding in the same impossible locations. The infected children aren't just responding to the creatures, they're collaborating with them. The parents aren't intervening because the parents are infected too. I watched a mother help her 5-year-old climb into a maintenance shed that should be locked, then stand guard outside while invisible shapes moved around inside. She was humming while she waited, the same tune all the infected have been humming since this morning. I need to reach the surface and get a better view of the overall situation. The service elevator to the main concourse should be... Oh, that's not good. Marcus, the elevator's running on its own. I can hear it moving between floors, but there's no one calling it. The electromagnetic interference from the creatures is affecting all the automated systems. The rides are operating themselves, the speaker system is broadcasting mixed signals, and the security doors are opening and closing in patterns that look almost like breathing. I'm taking the emergency stairs. The Carnotaurus, subject C-001, claimed the main park pathways as its territory. Motion-activated predator with speed capabilities that make it effectively invisible until the moment it strikes. But the stairwell should be safe if I move carefully and avoid sudden movements. Climbing to surface level now. I can hear the Triceratops through the concrete, subject T-001. It's not just mimicking random voices anymore, Marcus. It's having conversations. Full conversations with multiple infected humans, using the voices of their deceased relatives to coordinate their activities. I just heard it convince a janitor to unlock the maintenance shed using his dead father's voice, telling him how proud he'd be if his son helped with the family reunion. The janitor was crying while he followed the instructions. Still infected, still compliant, but some part of him knew something was wrong. The virus doesn't eliminate human consciousness, it just overrides it. These people are still in there, Marcus. They're aware of what they're doing, but they can't stop themselves. Surface level. Emergency exit to the main concourse. I'm going to risk a quick look at the overall situation. Marcus, I need you to contact whatever's left of regional emergency services because this is now beyond park containment. I'm looking at coordinated tactical operations between 4 different species and approximately 60 infected humans. This isn't random creature behavior. This is organized military strategy. The Spinosaur is using the park's water systems to move undetected between zones. Every fountain, every decorative pond, every drainage system is now part of its hunting territory. It surfaces just long enough to issue commands through the speaker system, then disappears back into the infrastructure. The Suchomimus pack has divided the park into hunting zones, 1 invisible creature per major attraction, with infected humans serving as spotters and guides. They're herding uninfected visitors towards specific locations like sheepdogs working livestock. The Triceratops is operating from the main plaza, using the central speaker system to broadcast psychological warfare across the entire park. It's not just using familiar voices anymore. It's creating complex emotional scenarios. I watched it convince an elderly couple to walk into Suchomimus territory by using their granddaughter's voice to describe a tea party she was having behind the big dinosaur statue. And the Carnotaurus. Marcus, the Carnotaurus is patrolling the perimeter. High-speed circuits around the entire park boundary, eliminating anyone who tries to leave. It's not hunting for food, it's maintaining containment. Someone trained it to keep witnesses inside the park. But here's what really concerns me. They're working together with precision that suggests central coordination. These aren't 4 separate predators competing for territory. They're specialized units in a larger operation. I'm moving toward the security office to access the central monitoring system. If I can tap into the main surveillance network, I might be able to track their coordination patterns and... Wait, Marcus, are you still receiving this transmission? I'm looking at the security office and there are people inside. People in corporate uniforms I don't recognize. Operating equipment that definitely wasn't here this morning. They have mobile command stations, military-grade communication arrays, and monitoring equipment that's tracking every creature simultaneously. This was planned, Marcus. This entire containment breach was planned. I'm close enough to hear their radio chatter. They're not trying to stop the creatures. They're documenting them. Performance metrics, hunting efficiency ratings, territorial establishment timelines. They're treating this like a field test. One of them just mentioned Dr. Kane's satisfaction with Phase 2 implementation. Kane, the research director who's been suspiciously absent from emergency communications. He's not missing, Marcus. He's been running this operation from the beginning. They have underground bunker access through the security office. I can see the entrance to levels that aren't on any park blueprint I've seen. How long has Meridian been operating beneath this place? I need to get closer and document their equipment. If this is a deliberate test, we need evidence before they sanitize the scene. Moving around to the rear entrance of the security building. The infected humans are maintaining a perimeter, but they're not guarding against infiltration. They're protecting the command team from creature interference. The virus isn't just making people compliant to creature commands, it's making them compliant to corporate commands too. Marcus, I can see into the bunker now through a service window. This goes deep. Multiple levels, dozens of personnel, equipment that looks like it's been here for months. DinoLand wasn't a theme park with a research lab underneath. It was a research facility with a theme park built on top as cover. The creatures aren't escaped experiments, they're deployed assets. I'm hearing radio chatter about regional expansion protocols and acceptable civilian casualty parameters for Phase 3. They're not planning to contain this, Marcus. They're planning to expand it. The Spinosaur just surfaced in the fountain directly below my position. It's not hunting, it's reporting. I can hear it making sounds that aren't human voices or natural crocodilian calls. Electronic chirping, like dial-up internet negotiating connection protocols. It's uploading data to the corporate systems. All of them are. Every creature has been modified with biological communication arrays that interface with Meridian's monitoring network. They're not just enhanced predators, they're living surveillance drones. Marcus, I need to warn you about something. I've been monitoring their communications and they've been tracking our radio contact. They know you're coordinating emergency response from your location. There's a corporate team being dispatched to your coordinates with orders to redirect your cooperation toward more productive channels. You need to go dark, Marcus. Change locations, change communication methods, assume all official channels are compromised. The emergency coordination protocols you've been following? They've been feeding information directly to Meridian's operations center. I'm going to try to reach the underground lab where this started. If I can access their primary research data, maybe we can understand what they're really testing here. The creature's behavioral modifications, the virus transmission vectors, the coordination protocols. There has to be documentation. Moving back toward the tunnel system, the infected humans have spread throughout the park now, working in organized teams to maintain creature hunting areas and establish what looks like permanent territorial boundaries. They're not just victims anymore, they're a labor force. I can see them setting up communication relay stations, constructing shelter areas around creature nesting sites, and establishing supply distribution points using park concession stands. They're building infrastructure for long-term occupation. Marcus, this was never about testing individual creature capabilities. This is a colonization protocol. They're establishing a self-sustaining ecosystem where enhanced creatures and infected humans coexist under corporate coordination. The park isn't being destroyed. It's being converted. I'm back in the tunnel system, heading toward the research lab. The electromagnetic interference is getting stronger as I get closer to the primary modification chambers. My equipment is starting to malfunction, and I can feel vibrations through the floor that suggest heavy machinery operating below my current level. They're still running experiments down there. While the surface situation deteriorates, they're continuing whatever process created these creatures in the first place. Marcus, I'm going to lose communication soon. The interference is affecting all electronic systems, and I need to go deeper into areas where radio waves probably can't penetrate anyway. If you don't hear from me again, assume I've found something they don't want documented. Contact every independent media outlet you can reach. Official channels are compromised, but independent journalists might be able to expose this before they implement Phase 3 in other locations. The creature's behavioral patterns suggest this protocol could be replicated at any facility with sufficient underground infrastructure. And Marcus, if anyone finds this recording after I'm gone, know that what happened at DinoLand wasn't an accident or a containment failure. It was a field test for technologies that Meridian intends to deploy on a much larger scale. The infected humans aren't just victims of a virus, they're prototypes for a controlled population. The creatures aren't just escaped experiments. They're the enforcement arm of a new kind of corporate governance where human cooperation is chemically guaranteed and territorial control is maintained by species specifically designed for predation and surveillance. I'm entering the research lab now. The doors are unlocked, which means either someone wants me to find what's inside, or they're confident I won't be leaving to report it. Either way, someone needs to document this. Dr. Sarah Chen signing off. Marcus, stay safe, and whatever you do, don't trust any official assistance that arrives too quickly or comes too well prepared. The behavioral patterns are unlike anything in the fossil record, but they're exactly what you'd expect from a species designed for human behavioral management. If anyone finds this recording, I'm going in. Someone needs to document this.